Welcome to Martini Time. This is the first time I've seen myself in the mirror today. So I'm not using this is a new martini glass, and one of these martini glasses is the Holy Grail. So I'm going to keep drinking from them until I find one, until I find it. Now, the Holy Grail is a metaphor for unity. If you drink from the Holy Grail, everything will be unified. You'll be healed. No more separation. No more suffering, pain of exile, fragmentation, lost, confusion, the labyrinth, disembodiment. All of this suffering, anxiety, pain, negativity will all be healed by the Holy Grail. So the Holy Grail is, of course, a metaphor for the mind that is aroused, that does not rest on any form or map or doctrine or religion or philosophy or psychology or experience or memory. Nothing. That is the Holy Grail. So let's talk about the power of sexual abuse. Whoa. So this is on everybody's mind, and I've been writing about it today. And usually what I do on Facebook, if you follow me, hope some of you do, is that I explore ideas and I explore assumptions. So, and I'm energized and activated and aroused by Facebook dialogue, because it becomes a place, a laboratory, a sandbox, where you can discover ideas and new ways of looking at the world. But see, I don't do this to affirm my old way of looking at the world and just reassert my beliefs and argue with other people, saying my belief's right and yours is wrong, which is what most people do. But when I resonate with people who don't do that. And so we kind of like create a non-judgmental space where we can explore ideas and discover new facets on the diamond, instead of just looking at it one way and saying, this is it, you see. So let's look at sexual abuse, as I've been doing today, because it's in the news. First there was Weinstein, and now there's Roy Moore. We want more. We want more sexual abuse. We want more. And the world again, America is dividing into two camps. One side, the women are right, and the other side says, why do they come forth now? They're after money. It's political. It's the fake news. It's liberals. The Democrats are doing it. Obama did it. Hillary's doing it. Somebody's doing it. The women can't be truthful. This is too late. Why'd they wait 30 years? What's wrong with them? Should have come out right away. And then what's the evidence? All right, what's the evidence? Does she have a video of it? She got stained underwear? She have a blue dress with semen on it? What's the evidence? You see? So anyway, this goes on. You can see this polarity here going on. So let's look at sexual abuse from a different angle and look at it more from power abuse and the wound it creates in the psyche of the abused, which are mostly women. And why can't they come forward? All right, so let's look at it from the point of power. Okay? So a lot of these men that are exposed, tit for tat, right? You expose yourself in front of somebody, you're going to get exposed, right? Okay, so the men that are being exposed are in the news because they are power men. They're men at the top of the heap. When Joe Blow next door gets arrested in your town for exposing, it doesn't get on national TV. When somebody in your community gets picked up for dating a minor or abusing anybody, they don't get on national TV. It doesn't go global on Facebook, you see. Only the powerful are newsworthy. Because we love for the powerful to, particularly the righteous powerful, to come down, you see. I mean, we get a lot of pleasure out of that in seeing the high and mighty. The hypocrites fall, you see. Particularly the moral hypocrites. Oh, there's nothing more sweeter than to see a moralist get caught in immorality. Anyway, but what is the dynamics? I'm curious, I asked myself and today on Facebook. Well, here's the way I see it. Is that sexual abuse, that is not consensual sex, sexual aggression, steals the identity or the power center of the victim. It's kind of like the Prometheus myth. Now, the Greek myth Prometheus is a myth of the need to steal power. And it's kind of like the son who has to steal the Ferrari, the father's car, because he won't give it to him. He won't give them the power, so they steal it. The good son waits and becomes worthy, and the father gives him the keys to the car. The bad son takes it for a joyride. He's premature. He's like Icarus, and he takes the father's sun chariot, goes too close to the sun, and burns up everything. Or that's the guy with wings, flies. Right. So there's two stories there of the son who was not ready for prime time. All right. So the man who has to steal the power. Now, how does he steal the power of a woman? Well, in consensual sex, in love, she gives it to him. And in that gift, she doesn't lose, she's enhanced. But if she doesn't give it to him, then he steals it. He takes it against her will. And because of his power position, you see, he can put the woman in a double bind. And the double bind is a situation where if you're put in a double bind, no matter what you do, you lose. You can't get out. So you're put in a double bind, maybe trapped in a room, maybe coerced to come to the room with expectations of a gift of power, like a job or new fame or something. There's some expectation of getting something, and instead you get trapped, you see. Now you're caught. You see, now the woman is caught in the double bind because she is forced to witness or have sex forced upon her against her will in a situation where she's compromised. In a situation where it creates a wound. The male, the power aggressor, gets control over her and steals her power. She's helpless. That's stealing the power. A victim means you stole their power. I have power over you. That's why you're a victim. And I'm the aggressor. I have power over you. And it's kind of an aphrodisiac. A little high, you see. So anyway, the woman, the psyche of the victim, doesn't necessarily have to be a woman, but most usually it is because the wound splits herself into two me's. Now the two me's that our healthy self, our healthy me, is one me. I'm not divided against myself normally. When I am, I feel loss of power, threatened, insecure, anxious, divided, self-doubting, self-recriminating, guilty, shamed, all that. So what happens to the woman's psyche in aggression, particularly if it's sexual? Now, again, this is just me talking. I'm certainly not in the position of having experienced this. But what I'm saying is that there is a wounding because, on one hand, she's against, I don't will the sex, I don't want it. But on the other hand, if there is the slightest excitement or titillation or interest or anything, she's divided. And that self-division then creates self-doubt. Did I welcome it or did I not? You see. And so there creates a self-guilt then, the shame. And she knows that if she goes and speaks out against the powerful man one-on-one, she's going to get shamed twice. Now the public will shame her. So she doesn't want to be raped twice, so she doesn't speak forth. However, when conditions change and a group of women come, just more than one, 2, 3, 4, 5, come forth and address the abuse, everyone comes forth because now there's power in numbers. And you can't be shamed. You see, you retrieve your power. You take your power back from the person who took it away from you. You take your power back. So this is why women will wait until there's a group coming forth, until conditions change, then everybody comes forth. But just to come forth early, why didn't you do it after it happened? That would be a second abuse, a second rape, a second shaming. But now by the public, you see. So this public shaming of women is a great inhibitor to keep women from coming forth and taking their power back. So the whole point of this game is to take the power from women. What is patriarchy? But taking the power from women. What did Yahweh do in Genesis? He took the power. There's no goddess in Genesis. In all the other religions, there's a male god and a female god. God and goddess. They work together like Fred and Ginger Rogers. In the Genesis, in our story, God is just Fred. No Ginger. Ginger's put down there cleaning up the floor. As Eve, you see. So Yahweh dances alone. He plays with himself. He doesn't have any goddess. He's an old, angry bastard. Old, angry, divorced man, you see. So anyway, so the point is that, I guess if there is a point, is that we're looking at sexual abuse as a stealing of power like Prometheus. Now Prometheus was a Greek god who stole the fire or knowledge from the gods and gave it to man. He gave the knowledge of God that was the possession of the gods. The fire is a metaphor for knowledge, awakening consciousness. He stole consciousness and gave it to man. And as punishment, Zeus had him chained to a mountaintop where the vultures would eat his liver during the day and he would heal during the night for eternity. Now that's hell. You see. So, but anyway, the idea of that myth is that Prometheus, as the god-man, had to steal the power. So the sexual abuser has to steal the power. Now, why does he want power? Now, this is an old idea of mine. It keeps resurfacing. Bill Clinton, Tiger Woods, a lot of these celebrities, even Roy Wood, this is all risky sex. Weinstein, that's risky sex when you go and trap somebody in a room and masturbate in front of them. That's risky. You see, you get away with it, it's great. Of course, if you're powerful, like Trump, if you're a celebrity, you can grab them by the pussy and they let you. You can abuse women and they let you because you're a celebrity, you see. That's an aphrodisiac. So the whole thing there is that I want to be powerful so I can do what I want. I can grab power from women, you see. And so here's what and I play with this idea. Now it seems to me that if you're at the top of the heap, if you're the Bill Clinton or you're the top of your game and you're in the news every day, you got to be up every day. You got to be hard every day. I mean, you got to be on top. You got to have energy. You have charisma. Power is charisma, you see. How do you maintain that? How do you stay up there? How do you just wait, I just don't have it today. No, you got to have it up every day. They call you on the, like Robin Williams. Every time they had him on the stage, he had to have it up. He had to be on the spotlight. He had to be on top of his game. It eventually got to him, but you see what I mean? I mean, you're on call. How do you keep that energy going? How do you keep from running out of energy? Where does it come from? So I really think these people create a ritual where they can recharge their batteries, recharge their psychic batteries so they can keep it up, you see. And the way they recharge their batteries is through risky sex. In other words, taking the power from a victim or getting the power from playing on the edge of death. Extreme sports, like Clinton, getting a blowjob in the Oval Office. Wow, any minute they could walk in on him. Any minute they could be discovered. Oh wow, this is so risky. It just juices the whole thing up, you see. The risk, you see. That's why extreme sport people go to war and they get all full of adrenaline. What? Because of the risk. We all experience that. You have a near accident, and boy, when you're getting out of that accident, you're full of juice. Whew. Wow. What was that? Man, was I alive. I don't know how I did that. You see. And so that was fun. I've got to do that again. So now we create a game where we do it. Now we create a ritual where we edge up against exposure and death, you see. For the celebrities, death is the loss of your celebrity, the loss of your persona, the loss of your charisma, your popularity, which is your identity, the meaning in your life, you see. How do you keep it up? How do you stay on top of the game and keep all the other men from knocking you off, you see? So so I really think that some have to create a ritual, and then it becomes a compulsion. Now, a compulsion is something where you really have no choice. I think we all understand that with cigarette smoking. You think you quit. And you go see a friend and you're sitting there having some coffee and they have some cigarettes there. And the next thing you know, you lit it. I didn't even choose it. How did I get this in my mouth? Or an alcoholic. I give it up. I don't choose it. And you're sitting there and somebody has a drink and you're relaxed. And the next thing you know, and then it's gone. Your vow is broken, you see. What the hell now, you see? Anyway, I'm just drawing some parallels. So, but the compulsion, like the priests and the pedophiles, and why they're so hard to cure, is because it becomes a compulsion. And the compulsion is a double bind, in the sense that they can't do it, and in other words, they are caught in a situation where no matter what they do, they lose. So let's explore that for a minute. Don't have many minutes left, just a one. The double bind cannot be sustained because you don't have any power in the double bind. A double bind is when you lose-lose. So maybe a double bind for the aggressive celebrity who has to maintain power is that I must have power. That's a commandment. I must be powerful. The other commandment, the opposite commandment, is that I don't feel powerful. So I don't feel powerful, I must be powerful. I can't do both at the same time. I can't be powerful and not feel powerful. So how do I feel powerful so I can be powerful and feel powerful? That's one. How do I get one and obey both commandments? If I must be powerful, I am not feeling powerful. You see, that's the division between mind and feeling. I don't feel powerful, but I must be powerful. Okay? How do I become powerful? And power means not divided. If I'm divided against myself, I'm not powerful. I'm split. My energy is divided. I'm going two different ways. Powerful means energy is going in one direction. You see, it's not split. Single-minded. So how do I, if I must be powerful, I don't feel powerful, how do I create unity? Well, I create a ritual where I can steal the power from a woman, and I can feel powerful over her. Now I feel powerful, and I must be powerful. I'm unified again. I come out of there juiced up. I'm ready to go. I'm unified again. I'm healed. I just drank from the Holy Grail. I'm healed, thank the Lord Almighty. But it doesn't last. So I turn around and I don't feel powerful, but I must be powerful. The ritual kicks in. The next thing I know, I'm in some hotel room exposing myself or trying to have sex with a woman against her will, making me feel powerful. I'm juiced up again, you see. And every time you do it, the ritual becomes a stronger compulsion until you can't not help doing it. There you go. And then when you're caught, they always say, like in the British mysteries, when they catch the murderer says, I had no choice but to kill them. I had no choice. I had no choice. That's a compulsion. Thanks for dropping in.